You know, there's a lot of tragedies in the world, but I think the biggest of them may very well be the fact that I feel the need to make another volume of this video every year. If you've never driven I-70, you haven't experienced real pain. That's all I'm going to say to start. So with that, let's begin volume 2 of a panegyric to I-70. Look, I-70 is not just a problem in the mountains. Go to Denver and oftentimes it looks just like this. So just imagine all that traffic that you see and hear about all the time, but then also couple that with the fact that you have to deal with this just even to get into that traffic. This, my friends, is the very definition of the phrase, hurry up and wait. I-70 is the artery of Colorado. When you exit the Denver airport, you're most likely going to get on I-70. And trust me, that Pena and I-70 interchange area is so bad it could demand an entire video of its own. The interchange with I-70 and I-25 is nicknamed the Mousetrap. Fun side tangent, back in 1984, a Navy truck carrying 6 torpedoes overturned at the intersection, causing widespread panic in the city, so they redesigned and rebuilt the entire interchange. They started redesigning in 1987. Guess how long it took until it was finished? If you guessed 2003, you'd be correct. Yeah, don't worry, our construction here takes just as long as it takes to get home during rush hour. Now, people always try to blame I-70 for being the mess that it is on one thing. But nah, with I-70, it's a 6-headed monster. Mountains, storms, constructions, trucks, transplants, and tourists. First off, you've got the mountains. The road is full of sharp curves, steep grades, narrow lanes, short entrance and exit lanes, and all sorts of other fun surprises. Then, that's compounded by the snowstorms that coat the road in a pristine layer of insurance payments. Add into that the fact that some part of I-70 is always under construction. Right now, the big project is at Floyd Hill, with some smaller projects around there and one on Vail Pass. And just as we discussed with the Mousetrap, construction in Colorado runs about as smoothly as the Air Force getting a new aircraft. Hey, sorry we're over budget by a small sum of $183 billion and 12 years behind, but here's a shiny new object that will do its intended function for about 10 years until it becomes obsolete. Now additionally consider trucks going 25 up some of those steep grades. I don't blame them, but without room for a climbing lane, it only takes one truck passing another to back up the highway for miles. Yes, a law was passed to prevent that in the worst spots, but I guarantee you, it's still gonna happen. A man can hope, I suppose. And then you've got the tourists and transplants. I'm grouping these into a category together. We'll get to them in just a minute. You know, some days I-70 runs like a well-oiled machine. But then one absolute doofus starts going 40 in the left lane, unknowingly backing up traffic for miles. It takes literally just 1 or 2 drivers to change it from said well-oiled machine to some rusty contraption that barely even starts. People say I-70 sucks because there's no alternate route. Well, technically there is, but it often looks like this. I-70 will always be I-70. Are there solutions? Sure. But all of us would rather sit around and complain than actually pay for what needs to be done. At a societal level, we Denverites are an absolute hive of hypocrisy. But while we're talking about people, let's go ahead and talk about what makes I-70 such a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad drive. The drivers. There are airports that pilots have to get extra special certification to fly into. Aspen is one example of this. I'm starting to think that I-70 might ought to fall into a category like that, requiring extra licensing to drive. I'm not trying to imply I'm the best driver on the road, but at least I know which direction to put a roof carrier. At least I know what the chain law means. At least I know how to downshift so I don't smoke my brakes. At least I know how to use a turn signal. You see all this stuff in the city, but it's only a small percentage of people. When you go to I-70, it seems like it's everyone. The great thing about Colorado is our license plates are color-coded. All who have driven I-70 know to be cautious around the dreaded red license plates. That color is the beacon of the apocalypse. How well the road flows is often directly dependent upon the ratio of red to green license plates on the road. I understand the whole sense of urgency thing, but I can never justify going 95 descending back eastbound into Denver like a lot of people do. It's a construction zone. The speed limit is 55. I wish I was kidding. I wish I was exaggerating. I'm not. People legitimately go 90 to 95 on that stretch on the regular. And I'm not talking about tourists, red license plates, or anybody in particular. This is everyone. Look, if you hit something at that speed, you die. Something jumps in front of you, you die. You drift out of your lane, you probably die. Clip a traffic cone and you might. It is never worth it. But yet, you see it all the time. That last bit probably just got this video demonetized. I don't care. It's important to spread this message. People die on I-70. Stop being stupid. But yet, I suspect I'm preaching to the choir here. I'm done making jokes. That's the premise of this video, but it just got serious. Stay safe, drive reasonably, and have a great ski season, everyone. All my love, I'm out.